when I'm done, you're gonna feel like you have an accent. Are you ready? Now, before we dive into the lesson, a quick intro. Hi, my name is Emmanuel Andrew, but you can call me Coach Manny. And this channel, Manny's Diction Club, is primarily for parents and the younger kids. Well, not younger kids necessarily, but kids in primary school and secondary school. This is where you learn to become effective communicators. Why? Because effective communication is the most important leadership skill. So I want you to be leaders right from primary school, secondary school, university, and of course, maybe some of you watching this one day might be the presidents or whatever, or prime ministers of your country, okay? So in this class, we're gonna correct something very simple, but it's gonna make a huge impact in how you speak. All right, so how do we pronounce the vowel plus R or the schwa+r? It's very simple. But there are two ways to do it. The first way is the British way, which is the soft graves. So for the Brits, quite often the R sound or the vowel plus R is often changed to So in a word like work, right? Or Nigerians will say walk. But the Brits will say work, work. So instead of OR, they pronounce it as UH. So work. That's the British way. Now the American way is to sound the R. So they say work. I am on my way to work. Now, whichever one you use is perfectly up to you. I have to confess that the British one, it sounds a bit nicer, you know, it sounds a little bit fancy, yeah, but it's a bit tricky. It's really, really tricky, okay? And but I'm gonna teach you both of them in this class. That's fine. So you pick whichever one you want, and at the end, I'm gonna reveal my personal secret. Are you ready? Okay, cool. So a British person would say, I'm going to work. Well, actually, they might say, I'm going to work. I'm going. I'm not going to teach you to say that, all right? If you're hoping that this class will teach you how to have a British accent, no, I'm sorry, not for you. I am teaching people how to speak properly. Why? Because depending on what part of the world you're from, I'm from Nigeria, but there are many people from different parts of the world, you have a natural way of speaking. And so trying to speak with an accent is just going to confuse your English and it's going to sound weird. So I don't want that. I want you to just learn to pronounce certain words properly, okay? So a British person might say, we're going to work. Or they might say, my friend's name is Mark. Nigerians will say, I'm going to walk. My friend's name is Mac. Now, the problem with that is, especially the second one, like, okay, is your friend's name Mark or Mac? Because Mac is a different word entirely. Mac is a different name. So M-A-R-K, Mark, and M-A-C-K, Mac, are two different people, right? Same way as work or walk are two different things, because a wok is a frying pan. And so when you tell a native English speaker, oh, I'm going to walk, they're thinking, okay, actually, even when you tell another Nigerian, they're thinking, okay, are you going to your job or are you going to walk? Right, but I'm going to deal with that in a different video, how to say the AL sounds, walk, talk, things like that. So there's enough confusion even within Nigeria, but when you pronounce words properly, I'm going to work or I'm going to work, it is clear what you're referring to, and that's what I want for you. Clear speech that nobody can misunderstand. Now, I know some of you watching this, you've had a few people pick on you or maybe bully you because you didn't pronounce certain words properly, and I understand that is the same reason I started working on how I speak, okay? I told a funny story. It's on my personal Instagram page, but you can follow me on Instagram, Manny's Diction Club, and I'm going to share some of those stories there because I don't want you to make the same mistakes I made, okay? So I lived in England for 10 years after school in Nigeria, and when I got there, my goodness, people didn't know what I was saying. It was like, who is this bush boy who just came off the boat? And yeah, it was a whole mess. All right, so what I'm teaching you, you're going to learn to speak properly, and you will be able to speak in front of anyone, anywhere, at any time. So let's do the American way. The American way, remember, they stress their R's. I'm going to work. My friend's name is Mark Anthony. They stress their R's. Now remember that you can choose either one as long as you get it right. We don't want a situation where you skip the R's completely, because it then changes the meaning of the word. For example, you might go shopping and say, oh, I need a shopping cart. Nigerians, what do you say? Shopping cart. Shopping cart. And so you travel abroad or you've relocated, you're telling people, I need a shopping cart. And they're thinking, what is a cat meant to do with your shopping? Right? It might sound funny, but that's literally what they're thinking. Why do you need a cat to shop? And you're thinking, why won't I need a cat to shop? Am I meant to carry all these things on my head? And to them you're being sarcastic, but they're like, I don't understand, you're the one that's causing the confusion. Okay, so if that's you, this is your day to repent. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a few new sentences. You're going to try out your R sound, your vowel plus R sound, and let me know how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to give you 4 sentences. Ready? All right, these are the sentences right here. So I'm going to give you a few seconds. You're going to try them out by yourself. Choose either way, the British way or the American way. And all right, so here you go. 10 seconds practice. Okay, so before I say them out, let me know which one is easier for you so far. You can leave a comment below whether learning the soft R, the British way, or the American way, the hard R. Okay, so this is how I would say those sentences. Okay, are you ready for this? Once I say them, I'm going to reveal my trick at the end. My horse is 30 years old. My horse is 30 years old. This course is not hard. This course is not hard. Margarine isn't butter. Margarine isn't butter. Margarine, it's not margarine. In a different video, I'm going to explain stresses. Typically, when a word is a noun, you put a stress at the beginning, margarine, as opposed to margarine. So margarine isn't butter. That's how I say it. I like finishing first. I like finishing first. Now, have you noticed what I do? Yeah, so I use a combination of the British and the American way. Now, there are some words I pronounce the British way, some words I pronounce the American way. So, for example, I tend to say words, which is slightly British, but I say learn, which is American. So, whichever one is easier for me, depending on the word and depending on who I'm speaking to, I will flip-flop. My only aim is this: is the person needs to understand what I'm saying clearly. Notice what I just said there, person. I say person, not person. Person is more British, but I say person. Okay? So I want you to, whoever I'm speaking to, whether it's one-on-one or whether it's in front of a large group, I want people to understand what I'm saying clearly. All right, so that brings us to the end of today's class. If you've liked the video so far, please like and subscribe. But let me give a quick recap. Okay, so the vowel plus R sound is the most important sound you need to learn if you're going to transform how you speak quickly. If you want to transform your diction, your pronunciation, your elocution, whatever you call it, if you want to change it really quickly and sound like you speak English properly, this is the first place to start. Okay, and there are 2 ways to do that. There's the British way with the soft R's, and there's the American way with the hard R's. And of course, there's my way, which is, well, I just pick whichever one works for me at the time. Okay, so thank you for watching this video to the end. If you liked it, please subscribe to this channel and share this with somebody who would benefit from this video, or maybe someone you know that struggles with this in particular. Okay, and just tell them, hey, I'm sharing this with you with love. Coach Manny said I should send it to you. All right, so they don't feel bad.